On Friday, I took a day off work. I skipped my usual martial arts and fitness training session and spent the day installing a new mailbox, working on my adventure trailer, putting a new 4-pin connector on my vehicle so I could hook it up better, and so on. On Saturday, I skipped another training session and went fishing instead. Never be afraid to skip a fitness or martial arts training session in order to do a chore or engage in an outdoor activity. A rough-and tumbler cultivates a kind of strength that draws on added width, not rigidly enforced depth. Fighting skills are no good without awareness skills. And the best way to build awareness skills is to spend time outdoors, in the real world. As Hatmaker pointed out in a recent blog post, there is often more to combat than meets the eye. It is the milieu that forms the athlete, the social environment, the vocations and avocations of the individual. Jack Dempsey said, "George Copeland, Bernie told me, was not only a good fighter, but had earned a reputation as one of the best ore shovelers around. This was almost enough to make me change my mind about the fight." Dempsey expressed the same caution about lumberjacks. It wasn't fight prowess that bothered him. It was being rated a good axeman or a good shoveler. If you want to be a rough and tumbler, go on adventures, do chores, live life to the fullest, and allow yourself to become the product of the milieu you create. Rough and tumble isn't about learning techniques in isolation. It is a way of moving in the world. Hey, rough and tumblers. So you're into self-defense, are you? Well, what are you learning to defend yourself from? There's only about a 50% chance that you'll ever have to defend yourself in real life against an attacker. So exactly what is it that you're preparing yourself for? Well, maybe what you should be learning to defend yourself from is, I don't know, laziness. How about wastefulness? Why the heck am I standing here trying to fix a lousy, poorly manufactured set of post hole diggers? Because I don't want to waste money on buying another pair so that I can go finish this job. What if there was a martial art that when you practiced it, you were learning more than just how to fight? What if you were learning real life skills? What if instead of doing make work, you were doing real work in the real world? Like that. If there's only a 50-50 chance you'll ever have to use your self-defense skills in real life, aren't you just wasting your time by practicing only just fighting? Shouldn't you make your martial arts practice more broad so that you can defend yourself against depression and negativity, hopelessness, defeatism, fear, physical sickness, weakness, laziness, aging, and all of that? What if you could defend yourself against the temptations that are all around you? To eat food you know you shouldn't eat. To watch TV shows and videos you know you shouldn't watch. What if you could make your martial arts about so much more than that, that it was never ever a waste, and you could use it every single day, at home, at work, at rest, in your relationships, at all times. Wouldn't that be something? And what if your martial art was so effective that when you did have to use it, you knew it would work? And here's my new mailbox. What is self-defense anyway? Can you defend yourself against the 7 deadly sins, ideological capture, your social media, or your porn addiction? How about the effects of aging? Heritage Rough and Tumble is real self-defense. Did you know that, according to the Surgeon General's report, almost 50% of Americans are suffering from the negative health effects of isolation and loneliness? 69% of Americans are obese. Over 20% of Americans suffer from some form of mental illness. And some of this has to do with the fact that they're just not outdoors enough. Just being outside is helpful. You might check out our Total Transformation Plan, available at heritageartsinc.com. Just a $9.99 donation will get you this short but concise transformation plan. Guys, listen. Mind, body, and spirit are not separate things. They're all one. Mind, body, and spirit are one. And what you need to do is some real work. Ask yourself, the next time that you're doing a training session, if you're really training for what you want to achieve and do. Ask yourself if that bench press is really making you a better martial artist, if it's really making you a better person, if it's really doing something. Then you might say to yourself, what if I just cut out some of this junk volume and did some real chores, some actual chores? What if I actually worked the heavy bag and then maybe used the floor bag and did some throws? What if I actually hung out with my friends and trained with them? What if you started your own martial arts club in your own hometown and you brought some guys together who are in desperate need of relief from some real problems in the real world? I mean, you know, sure, you could wear a cool uniform and maybe win a trophy or something like that. But is that what you're really training for? I mean, in the final analysis, you just want to make yourself feel better, or do you want to actually do something? What if you trained outside, outdoors, in the actual environment where real things happen, not in a nice, cozy, comfortable, well air-conditioned, well-heated gymnasium? Heritage Arts in Richmond, Virginia. We've been training outdoors, rain or shine, 12 months a year since 2009. Get dirty, get engaged, get involved. You know, Mark Hatmaker talks about this all the time. And that is that guys like Jack Dempsey and many of the great boxers and wrestlers of yore, the folks they feared the most in the ring were guys that did things in the real world. Miners, loggers, muckers, guys that laid railroad ties all day. That's real work, and it leads to real resilience, real physical strength, first of all, but also something that you just can't quite put into words, and it's something that you're not going to get in a nice, clean gym with nice, clean equipment.